Welcome back. This is Chicken Philosophy. Carl Jung's Black Books, part 79, in which I will pick up right where Gwydion left off in part 78. I've got a bone to pick with myself, is one thing I could say. Or I could say that I want to apologize. No. What it is basically, there was one of us, and I honestly don't remember which one of us it was, that was on this trip about how esoteric Christianity is just based on Orthodox Christianity, and Gnostic Christianity never entered into the picture because it was completely wiped out, and just all this shit. And like, it was a misguided emotional expression and a like a gross siding with a polarity. I mean, basically speaking to whoever that was. If it was me, I'm speaking to myself. If it was, I know it wasn't Gwydion, but it might have been BT. It might have been in more than one episode. Yeah, that was a unique situation. You had a small group of people who were insisting upon making it all about Orthodox Christianity, but they certainly don't speak for everybody who entered into a Golden Dawn paradigm, tradition, egregore, initiatory order, temple, whatever, self-initiation, whatever. Because I was looking at the Chaldean oracles. I mean, obviously they're not the Chaldean oracles, and that's kind of like part of the frustration I was expressing. Was even like, it was an observation of the fact that the people who kept these orders going, and God bless them, or restarted and did their best to try to make it in the image of what they thought Gnostic was, or whatever, But, like, originally there wasn't any Orthodox Christianity in it, really, unless you really, like, looked at some of the basic. That's kind of where the reading Martin Luther and reading all this shit comes in for me. Reading Nag Hammadi and reading Martin Luther is like, how much of it was Martin Luther, and how much of it was anything that goes back before somebody reinvented it. I mean, if it was translated from Greek and Coptic into Arabic and then back to Latin and then eventually to English, okay. Like, that's fair. That happens. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes there's no Sanskrit version of a sutra. It doesn't always mean that it was invented in China, like, it could have been lost, but now there's a Sanskrit one. It's newer than the Chinese one, like that kind of thing happened. So it's fine with me. Like, I don't actually have a bone to pick with anyone, like, I guess sometimes it's a frustration with, I mean, the thing is, like, yeah, my becoming such a hard ass and enforcer and dogmatic in my own right about it, like, I was talking a little too much shit, because those Chaldean oracles are pretty beautiful, The mind of the Father whirled forth in re-echoing roar, comprehending by invincible will ideas omniform. And prior to Nag Hammadi, Nag Hammadi wasn't there. That's the thing. And part of the beauty of the tradition was that people got to kind of reinvent it, or to, like, think of new ways that it could be what they think it is, and you can find that in Buddhism too, in the various traditions and lineages, and different people taking different approaches and resulting in different forms of Buddhism, yeah, and I don't know why I was talking so much shit. I guess it's that, I mean, and that's kind of what I uncovered, I think, in that one. There was this one, I remember, where it was Edward strips down to the bone. I don't know, I think it might have been Martin Luther. And so this is a continuation of that. This, like, literally takes place after that, in my mind, or in this conversation that I'm having with myself that somebody's listening to. Oh my God, how weird. Hope you're doing well, whoever you are. Yeah, the Chaldean oracles are beautiful. That's all I got to say. And only a handful of weirdos ever insisted that esoteric Christianity had to be Orthodox Christianity, and just because you were one of them, Edward BT, doesn't mean it's true. You know, like, you can let go of that shit. Like I think the realization was that it was just defaulting back to some misguided thought, or a presumptuous thought, like in the tripartite tractate. So next time, whoever's next, Gwydion, we'll try to start with a fresh start and change our attitude about it. So anyway, but that's neither here nor there. This is Carl Jung. There's no drink today because I had to say all that, and I hope that anybody who, I guess, you know, like, if I get put on a list of people that aren't cool or whatever, like, okay, sure, whatever. I mean, it's a process. I'm sharing my process with you. Who I'm going to be with a long gray beard is not the person talking to you now. I'm doing the black books. My version of doing the black books is chicken philosophy, where I just pour it all out there, but I'm doing it as an exhibitionist, because that's kind of how I do things. And by I mean Gwydion in that specific context. So, but there is incense. There's no. Remember when the big Nag Trompa came? I think that was a BT Nag Hammadi. That was one of the Nag Hammadi, the big Nag Hammadi. So now we're doing the small blue Nag Hammadi. Oh, good. Yeah, it's the. He's gonna write some more Sermons of the Dead. Cool. January 31st, 1916. Quote, "The dead. We want to know about God. Where is God? Is God dead?" God, end quote. Nope, there's no end quote. I don't know, whatever's going on with the quotes. That's not a quote, that's a footnote. Thank God. I hated that was a quote. It's not a quote, it's a footnote. Disregard the quote. "The dead. We want to know about God. Where is God? Is God dead? God is not dead. He is as alive as ever. God is creation, for he is something definite, and therefore differentiated from the pleroma. God is a quality of the pleroma, and everything I have said about creation also applies to him. But he is distinct from creation in that he is much more indefinite and indeterminable than the creation. He is more closely related to the pleroma than to creation. Moreover, he is the pleroma itself, just as each smallest point in the created and uncreated is the pleroma itself. Whereas the essence of the creation is differentiation, the essence of God is effective fullness. Effective emptiness is the essence of the devil." Okay, I'll read it. I'll see where it's going. "God and devil see the first manifestations of the unimaginable nothingness, which we call the pleroma. It makes no difference whether the pleroma exists or not, since it cancels itself out completely. Not so creation. Insofar as God and the devil are created beings, they do not cancel each other out, but stand one against the other as effective opposites. We need no proof of their existence, since it is enough that we keep speaking about God and the devil. They are both manifestations of the non-existent qualities of the pleroma. Even if both were not, creation would forever distinguish them anew out of the pleroma on account of their distinct essences. Everything that differentiation takes out of the pleroma is a pair of opposites. Therefore, the devil always belongs to God. This inseparability is most intimate and, as you know from experience, as indissoluble in your life as the pleroma itself, since both stand very close to the pleroma, in which all opposites are cancelled out and united. Fullness and emptiness, life and death, cross out life and death, generation and destruction are what distinguish God and the devil. Effectiveness is common to both. Effectiveness joins them. Effectiveness, therefore, stands above both and is a God above God. Since it unites fullness and emptiness through its effectuality. This is a God you knew nothing about. We call him Abraxas. He is even more indefinite than God and the devil. Nothing stands opposed to him but the ineffective. Hence, his effective nature unfolds itself freely. He is complete effect, since the unreal neither exists nor resists. Abraxas stands above God and the devil. He is improbable probability, that which takes unreal effect. If the pleroma had an essence, Abraxas would be its manifestation. He is the effectual itself, not any particular effect, but effect in general. He takes unreal effect because he has no definite effect. He is also creation, since he is distinct from the pleroma. God has a definite or determinable effect, and so does the devil. Therefore, they appear to us more effective than the indefinite Abraxas. He is force, duration, change. Quote, no, those are not quotes, those are footnotes. My soul, if you are the intercessor for the dead, my God, if you hear me, end this torment that I endure from men. I cannot bear it anymore. I can't bear it anymore. Come to us. Quote, oh, that's a quote. Come to us, to the green forests, the lonely mountains, the cold lakes, the sun and starlit night, to the clouds, the mists, the silence of eternal nature. May men be remote from you. No one touches the pure crystal that shines in 1,000 fires. The human has fallen from you. You have come closer to the stars. The kingdom of what is to come will open. Let silence enter, the silence of eternity, since all paths, even the most winding, lead to the valley of silence. Leave everyone to this fate. You don't impede anything. You don't improve anything. You don't miss anything. You go to earth and heaven. You leave the clamor of men. You saw the fire. It is enough. Teach what is yours and then be quiet. You found your way. Do not ask for more, but fulfill what is necessary. You can do what you are able to do, no more and no less. Bracket parentheses, end quote, end bracket parentheses. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. It's a living tradition that Carl was part of. And then part of its earlier versions of itself got uncovered in Nag Hammadi, perhaps. Originally, I wanted to be able to separate the ancient from the Carl Jung, but I don't know. Maybe his name belongs up there with Mohammed and Joseph Smith, you know. February 1st, 1916. So, my listeners, you who are standing in dark rows along the walls, let's speak further about God. Abraxas is the highest God, who is difficult to grasp. His power is greatest because man does not see it. From God he draws the summum bonum, from the devil the infimum malum, but from Abraxas' life, altogether indefinite and indeterminable, the mother of good and evil. Oh, and he's a chicken. Did you know? Life seems to be smaller and by far weaker than the summum bonum. Therefore, it is also hard to conceive that Abraxas' power transcends even God's, who is the radiant source of all vital force. Abraxas is also, cross out, also God. And at the same time, the eternally sucking gorge of emptiness. Sounds like a party. That was editorial. If the diminisher and dismemberer, the sucking gorge of emptiness of the diminisher and dismemberer, the devil. Oh, it is a party. Thus, the power of Abraxas is twofold, but you do not see it, because it's in your eyes. Sorry, that was a mental typo. Because in its cross out, it's your eyes. The warring opposites of this power are cross out. Is R crossed out? No, it's not. The warring opposites of this power are canceled out. What the God speaks is life. What the devil speaks is death. But Abraxas speaks that hallowed and accursed word that is at once life and death. Abraxas produces truth and lying in the same cross-out, in the same good and evil, light and darkness, in the same word and in the same act. Oh, is Abraxas Thoth? Well, chicken, ibis, maybe they're cousins. Therefore, Abraxas is terrible. He is as splendid as the lion in the instant he strikes not, cross out not, down his victim. He is beautiful. Yeah, he is as beautiful as the sun in spring. Yes, he is the great Pan himself, and Panisk. He is Priapos. He is the great monster of the underworld, a thousand-armed black polyp, a coiled knot of winged serpents, frenzy. He is the hermaphrodite of the earliest beginning. He is the lord of toads and frogs, which live in the swamps and go up on the land, whose chorus ascends at noon and at midnight. He is the begetting, cross-out begetting fullness that seeks union with emptiness. He is holy begetting. He is love and its murder. He is the saint and his betrayer. He is the brightest light and the darkest night. of madness. To look upon him is blindness. To recognize him is sickness. To worship him is death. To fear him is wisdom. Not to resist him is redemption. God dwells behind the sun, the devil behind the night. What God brings forth out of the light, the devil sucks into the night. But Abraxas is the world, its becoming and passing. Upon every gift that comes from God, the devil lays his curse. Everything that you request from God produces a deed from the devil. Puppy, could you later, maybe? Everything that you create with God gives effective power to the devil. Because God, cross out, because God, that is terrible Abraxas. He is the mightiest created being, and in him creation is afraid of itself. I ain't afraid of no dog. He is the manifest opposition of creation to the pleroma. He is the son's horror of the mother's love for son. He is the delight of the earth and the cruelty of the heavens. At his sight, man's face congeals. Before him there is no question and no reply. He is the life of creation. He is the effect of differentiation. He is the love of man. He is the speech of man. He is the appearance and the shadow of man. He is deceptive reality. I think he's responding to my voice, because when I stop talking, he stops barking. He doesn't like my Carl Jung soul voice or whatever that is. All right. Well, these are pretty good, right? Let's read some more. February 2nd, 1916. I must speak to you, my soul in prison. You are unbelievably presumptuous. You do not have any respect for men. You are insolent and insist that this is love. You pocket everything and allow no one to develop who does not break away from you violently. They are valuable to you as long as they commit harmless and harmful stupidities. You pull back what wants to fly. You are like a chicken that has hatched ducklings. You don't listen to what I say. You are unreasonable. You don't come to humane terms with me, though you always claim that you do. You work against me, and you are in love with me. Why is that so? Quote, I am not in love with you the way you think. Since you do not serve me, you always look for what is yours, while you should search for me. Only with me can you develop. End quote. Hold on, I am not a serf. I cannot be a serf. I don't want to dominate you, but neither should you dominate me. Why can't you live and work together with me? Thank you, Danny Elfman. Quote, I would like to, but you won't let me get close to you. End quote. That's a lie. Rarely has a man accepted you as I have. But does this have to be an eternal service? Must I be a servant forever? I fight for the freedom and the life of man. He is sufficiently unfree through outer, but even more through inner circumstances. Once he has freed himself from the external side, he falls into the internal. I also want to free him from that. I even have to for the sake of my own life. It becomes unbearable. You know that. It cannot be in your interest simply to kill the man. Quote, "Of course not. Who speaks of killing? He needs to live with me, but for that reason he must serve me." End quote. Why? Make yourself plain. Quote, "Because I am the higher being, since my nature is spiritual." End quote. Your nature is not only spiritual, but also chthonic. Even more than mine is. You are more spiritual and chthonic than I, and so you are always at odds with yourself. I even think that you are not one, but two, and that you haven't realized it yet. Man can rather be one, since he is less chthonic and less spiritual than you. Therefore, he has a greater claim to dominion than you do. You are merely daemonic. Quote, "You are a megalomaniac." End quote. Not at all. It only seems that you have power, thus you want to command all the time. He who has the power needs no will to rule. You are reluctant to acknowledge this, but it is only fair that you accept something from man, even when you exceed him. In the end, you are not a man, but at last you must acknowledge what you aren't. You can't make me into a creature that is like you, just as I relinquish making you into a man. You need to accept me as your soul. Therefore, then we can coexist. Separate yourself into two at long last, so that you sunder your being and unite. Objectify yourselves so that each of you finds their place, both in one voice. Quote, "We separate."
Okay, I am Senorito. Me, crossbone.
Okay, good.
"We are separated. We reject each other. We are twins of disparate kind, chthonic and heavenly, tormenting unity, tormenting separation." Quote, "Good that you finally feel what it means to be at odds with oneself. I understand you. Become." That was actually in quotes, but it seems like that's Carl. Oh, they're the two people talking? I don't know. Quote, "Cruel one, you gave us your torment." End quote. "Oh, mother, the sword must pierce your soul. I see your tears. You hold the serpent at a distance, though it has been like a child to you. Serpent, you chthonic origin, most despicable beast, we need your wisdom. Let mother go, and twist high into your suffering. You are, cross out R, must become the Savior. The cross awaits you. You must be lifted up on the mountain of torment and exposure. Both of you, go to your fate, accept your torment. O mother, pray for your son. O serpent, recite the runes to your mother." Editor Edward, could you remind us what chthonic means? What is chthonic? I'm totally ignorant.
So chthonic entities are underworld gods, goddesses, and spirits, sort of like Cthulhuid.
Oh,
Cthulhu
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like elder gods and
Sure.
dark side, and yeah, you really have to be careful if you play in that space.
Thank you, Editor Edward. All right. I hope that you enjoyed this one. It might be a little short, or at least shorter than episodes have been lately, but I think it was good. It was a good reading, and hope you enjoyed the other stuff or whatever. I don't know. Just going through my process as I do this. Only part of it's comedy, and only part of it's entertainment. Some of it's a real thing happening over on my end. And I don't just mean putting on different outfits. So, last time in 964, I think. Is this 965? Pymander did the Shingon. And he finally, you remember how here we have the chicken wheel, and he's been trying to work out a way of cleverly expressing his schedule. So Pymander, I give you exactly 1 minute, starting now. 0 up there, the Life and Liberation of Padmasambhava. Then on the 1, we read Tipitaka, pre-sectarian early Buddhism, hence the symbol. And then when we get to the 2, then we read some Chan or Zen. Specifically, we read the Platform Sutra of the 6th Patriarch. And then for 3 and 4, we get back to the Tipitaka, pre-sectarian early Buddhism. And now here we are at 5, reading Shingon. Remember that symbol? Then for 6 and 7, it's pre-sectarian early Buddhism. For 8, it's Zen again. Zen, Chan, same thing. But this time we're reading Dogen. We read Dogen when it gets to the 8. And then for the 9, pre-sectarian early Buddhism, Tipitaka, and then loop back around. So that's our schedule. All right. Thank you, Pymander. So if you want to watch the rest of that episode, which is a little anticlimactic in one part, now that you've seen that part, because there was a whole long thing that built up to that. The schedule, clock reveal. Anyway, that episode's right here. You can watch that. I'm going to put that on at the end screen as well. And next time it'll be Gwydion reading Nag Hammadi. And like I said, hopefully it'll be a different vibe. And yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. A lot of things toppled down. I had a very intense dream this morning, too. Anyway, I hope you have a good one. Until next time.